I was talking to my friend from Europe about the cost of living in Ohio and just how everything has gotten so unaffordable, and he was literally shocked. He was like, but Ohio's a cheap state, I thought.
Genuinely just got off the phone with one of my European friends, and he was in complete disbelief when I told him the prices here in New York, because I genuinely can't believe them either.
My cousin from Scotland just got in touch with me and how the price of living has gone up like crazy. And he was all like, but you live in Ohio, like you don't really have to worry about it, right? Like that's pretty cheap.
I live in New York, and I was talking to my friend in France the other day, and I was telling her I literally can't afford my rent.
I was like, yeah, it used to be, but to be honest, there's no such thing as a cheap state anymore. He says, but you have a second job. Isn't that for like fun stuff or saving and stuff? Like, just use that for now. I was like, you think my second job is for fun? It's for survival. Have you seen the cost of gas after the MAGA Republicans started a war in the Middle East? Have you seen the cost of groceries in Ohio after the MAGA Republicans did all these tariffs?
1 year ago, I was looking at gas prices being $2, $3 at most. Right now, I'm lucky to find $4 a gallon. That is insane. I was telling my European friend that I'm working 2 jobs to barely cover my living expenses, and he was shocked, thinking that my second job was just for me to put extra money into my savings. I can't afford living in New York because these MAGA Republicans thought it was a good idea to go to war instead of actually lowering prices how they said they would. Somebody please help me, because this is genuinely intolerable.
It used to be. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I have 2 jobs and I can barely afford it. And he's all like, with 2 jobs, you cannot afford to live there. I thought you had a second job just to have like extra income. No! And he was so in shock and absolutely horrified. And he's all like, well, isn't that what MAGA like promised you guys? Yep, sure did. But they decided to prioritize a war in the Middle East that we didn't need instead.
And she was like, don't you have 3 jobs? And I was like, yes, but 3 jobs still doesn't feel like it's enough. Like, I'm still struggling. And she's like, you're still struggling with 3 jobs? You work all the time. I thought 3 jobs would be enough. And I also thought the MAGA Republicans said everything would be cheaper, but we must be living in a different New York, because I am definitely not seeing that.